Hello, Professor Bright here. Welcome back to the Sunless Skies, where the first thing we're doing is going into these docks, and we are replacing the Pelennor. I'm sorry, it just isn't maneuverable enough for my sort of play style, shall we say. The question becomes, do we want to go with this? No. In fact, we really don't. We want to go with the Bedivere class escort. Absolutely. Like the Serpentine. I'm sorry, did that say Sepulchral Rave? Or Sepulchral Rave? Curious. Let me find a name I prefer. The Salamander wouldn't be a bad one. Pandora, though. Why not? Seems reasonable. But yes, this should be more maneuverable in theory, I believe. Of course, that's a belief I'm having, but it seems like a reasonable one. Now, we have munitions that need to be going to the Parliament, which is south of London. And of course, we have other things that need to get done, quote unquote. Including a trip back to Brabazon just to pick up the Clayman, although, what was his price? Because they all have a price, you know. All our officers. We'll find out when we get there. It's not really a matter that we have to worry about right now. We do have to be more cautious than usual, though. We've seen how much more dangerous Albion is compared to the Reach, which is shocking given how much more civilized it is, but, well, civilization is a threat as well. Question, we've never gone here, and I want to know what's there. Also, we seem a lot bigger than the Pelennor was. Like, a lot bigger and bulkier. I kind of like it. I'm kind of into it. The head offices of a lumber concern that imports bronze wood from the Reach. The Wit and Vinegar Loading Dock. The Wit and Vinegar Lumber Company operates primarily in the Reach, mining bronze wood and transporting it back to London for construction, furniture, and locomotive plating. And I would love some locomotive plating, please. Thank you. Its loading platform is frequented by brawny, wind-bitten men, lugging slabs of bronze wood into the warehouse. But we have no choice but to take our leave. The workers give you unsympathetic stares. We're trying to work. It ain't safe for tourists. Which I suppose is fair. I suppose. We're unwelcome here. You return to your engine. The workers watch you as you go. Suspicious lot, aren't they? Curious. And nothing. Well. Thanks for nothing, Wit and Vinegar. Oh well. It's fine. Now, where would I be if I were a parliament? Yeah, probably near the gate, or the relay, rather. I would assume, although that seems like a bad assumption. I would normally assume that they would be within London proper, but, well, the message seems to indicate otherwise. Hello? A pitiful scattering of plain abandoned coffins, you say? That we can break open and steal from. Perfect. A fine business venture. A humble wooden coffins pepper the sky here. This is a bully's acre, a pauper's graveyard. There's little room for the dead in London. I see. Break open a coffin. Even the poor sometimes manage to take a keepsake to the grave. And yes, this is perhaps not the most ethical thing we've ever done, but counterpoint, is potentially profitable. And we succeeded, so that means it was the right decision. You enlist your least scrupled crewmen and exit the main hatch. Maneuvering close, your nominee gets out on the footplate in the driving wind and hooks a coffin with a coal shovel. The lid comes off with a groan before falling away into the sky. Well, it seems this poor soul tried to take it with them after all. Fancy that. I'm just gonna hit a few of these coffins out of the place. Don't worry about it, guys, it's fine. I'm a professional. God, that is gruesome. The clock chimes in the distance. Parliament, a stoker says, in tones caught between contempt and wistfulness. Hey, friend, are you Parliament? No? I have to assume it's near here. Hey, what's going on? Tea. Okay. I mean, of the many things it could have been, that's a useful thing. Of course, I would like to have more room in the hold, but, well, that's neither here nor there now, is it? But that talk of Parliament makes me think we're going the right way. Unless we're just supposed to be going towards the bells, possibly? This is a confusing place to be. Let's wait to send out the owl. Because I don't remember... Well, we have the map from previous, yes? So I wouldn't see anything new, right? If that makes sense? No, nothing there. It did say south of London, yes? This is the problem when you have a specific target that you're looking for. Floating Parliament lies to the south of London. Okay. Well, we are in the south of London, and I see no floating Parliament. Neither does my owl. Even if I were to send them out again. And, oh. You took a while and didn't find anything. Good, I was hoping. Curious thing. Is that the sound of a turret? From one of them dreadnoughts? You got me concerned, friend. And we have our crew quite concerned. Ooh, well, normally I wouldn't, but... What are you? An Albion Marauder. Oh, cool. You got a little burst fire there, but you also don't have a turret, which means I can do maneuvers like this. Damn it, friend. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to do the right thing. And you're making it awfully difficult to do. There we go. Ha! None of that. There we are. An Albion Marauder, mangled. The Marauders are those who defy or have been excluded from Albion's authority. Leaderless raiders, homeless exiles, pirates, dissidents, and criminals. I'll loot the hold. Perhaps some of the contents are intact. I have a precious need for something. In an aromatic casket. Something's been preserved. Dried tea leaves. Your crew gather round. An argument breaks out over the provenance and blend. Fetch a kettle. Alright. So far, relatively profitable trip. A failed work world sprawls here, rusting uselessly. Interesting. How do you fail as a work world? Ooh, something ghastly or something glistering. I'm gonna go with the glistering thing because I could use some valuables. But no, I wonder, like, how did this work world fail? Was it sabotaged? Because it seems like it couldn't be just incompetent business practices. It seems like, you know, if you have a work world, if you have a workforce, then you can accelerate the time that passes on the planet below or the world below. Ah, dear. Seems you couldn't possibly lose money in that case. Regardless, discontent. A junior signaler receives a dose of medicinal port in the infirmary after seeing a frozen corpse spin past a window. The experience has shaken him. The dead are hungry, he says. We need to make an offering, or he'll come back and knocking at the hull. Reprimand him. Stuffing nonsense. Discipline. The crewman returns sheepishly to duty, but continues to jump every time debris clangs on the hull. It is debris, you are almost certain. Yeah, that terror situation's getting a bit rough. Hey, buddy. Hey, you want to not be doing all this? You want to not be maneuvering like that, friend? How do you feel about not doing this? Ah, I see, that's how this is gonna go. Well, That was expected. But there we are. The crew of this weathered engine had been driven mad by the winds and the stars and the things that haunt the sky, but we can find a sky story. Or nothing. That works too. Things best forgot. The smell of turpentine hangs in the air, fresh paint drips from the ceiling, as does a stoker suspended with ropes. The bedsheets have been painted with amateurish portraits of the dead stoker. In the first few, he is alive, in the later ones, he is not. Well, on the bright side, we now have Tales of Terror, which will be useful in the future. Great. Keep finding nothing. Bothersome. Very bothersome. It just said south of London, so I would assume anywhere south of London would do. And this might be a way between. Having this problem of having to build up more money, because I suppose I didn't mention this at the start, but we do need to plan a trip back to the Reach. Not necessarily a recorded trip back to the Reach. I might just, swing by, do a few of the stories that we already did, and then pop back to London. But we need money to do that, to even make any of that happen. We need funds. Because I want my officers back, and I want to finish some of their stories. Or continue some of their stories. It's unclear. I see that. Yes, it's unclear to me if once we find our captain... Once we find our officers, if we have to restart their stories from scratch, or if we get to continue from where we left off with our previous captain. I am curious about that. Grand scheme of things, I suppose it doesn't matter, he says as the terror continues to climb. Hopefully another event pops and we can deal with the terror. Just in time. Perfect. Now I saw this option, and I think it is the right one. I'm sorry, what is this? What? I'm sorry, ignore the hand with the knife. What is this? Because this is horrifying. This right here. But recover the body and transport it for burial. It will be poor company, but it's what you'd want to happen if you were found dead in the sky. It is a good deed, perhaps, to carry a lost soul home, but it's not a happy one. The crew are grimly hardened, but your dreams are troubled. The corpse wore captain's jacket. Their face is a mask of frozen horror. A touch of nightmares, but worth it. As you attend to your paperwork, you feel the insistent crawl of watchful eyes on the back of your neck. No one's behind you. It would be impossible, ridiculous, to even entertain the notion that someone is behind you. Turn your head. Who's spying on you while you work? As it turns out, there's no one there, just an empty room, and a window offering a view into the star-sprinkled void. Is someone clinging to the hull outside, peering through the window? Surely not. Yet when you return to your paperwork, you once again feel watched. Shutter the window. It can't hurt. When you close the blinds, you feel a momentary relief. It doesn't last. The sense of scrutiny returns, crushing and inescapable, until you drop your pen and reach for the whiskey. That got a little too real. I've experienced that sort of horror of feeling like something's watching you from behind and... Yep. Good times all around. This is a lovely, lovely place. Could those bells please stop? Is there anything I can do to make those bells stop? Is this Parliament? No, this is rusting metal. Good. I'm glad. I mean, I'm still technically south of London. It's just a bit farther south of London than perhaps intended. Maybe it's closer to London than I am right now. Maybe it's in this little black spot. I don't... That's the thing, when it says, like, south, southwest, or any of that, it gives more details. And it's much more helpful than just saying, south. You are near the sea in the sky. Okay, see, you say that. Can I get some precise directions to there? It seems I can. Also, we found something horrifying. Well, better go visit. Better go visiting, saying hello to Oh. I think I see what we found. Hello. The broken sun is a warning that nothing may impede the progress of the Empire. Not even the stars. Yeah, this is where you kill the sun. Let's investigate this. Oh dear. No. We'll have none of that. Not today and not in my condition, I'm afraid. Although that is very curious. The horror is clearly the dead sun. And what do we have here? None of this. Oh, you're doing quite a number on this one. Maybe I want to take advantage. Perhaps. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm terribly sorry. Wasn't paying attention. Clearly not enough attention was paid. Yep, that'll do. Oh, got a ship there. And by ship, I mean locomotive. No. Won't have you do none of that to me. Yeah, so I'm going to take this wreck and just strip her for repairs real quick. Thank you. Very helpful of you. Oh, fuck me. Well, this is the worst case scenario if ever I've seen one. I've done a lot of damage to that one, but I don't want to deal with that because I know how damaging they can be. So I'm just gonna. Oh, good. It's chasing me. Good, I was hoping. Fuck. Lights out. Maybe lights out will help. Or maybe it'll just latch onto my hull, and this will make everything so much worse. We're not doing good. Nope. Please no. Please stop. Please no. Please no. Kensington, I don't know what you are. Look, I don't want to deal with you. I'm at the nave. Cool. We're apparently in the Mausoleum. I guess. There's a monster outside. Can someone help me kill it? Oh no. Oh no. Okay. The soaring sepulchral heart of the most serene mausoleum, constructed over the cooling embers of Albion's murdered son. The mausoleum was built to house London's most glorious dead. A curious choice, but very well. A Kensington station is tucked into a side chapel. An elderly footman is lighting candles while waiting to guide visitors into the mausoleum proper. Be escorted inside. The footman watches you alight from your engine. He coughs meaningfully. Amongst the dead, lighting a fresh taper which he carries in a silver holder, the footman leads you through a narrow arch and down a winding spiral stair. You can hear weeping close by, but the echoes make it hard to discern the source. Soon after, you hear a sharp burst of laughter and music. Occasionally, you make out the rumble of what the footman confirms to be the London Necropolis Railroad far below. At the very bottom is an oak-paneled door. The footman unlocks the door, bows, and departs. Oh. The footman disappears into the gloom, leaving you alone facing a desk shaped like a baptismal font. A cheery registrar sits in the middle, waiting to greet you. Introduce yourself. There are protocols that must be followed in the mausoleum. Oh. She has you fill out a form indicating your profession, age, usage of hours, and to confirm your legal status as alive. The Prince Consort's tomb is exceedingly popular, To prevent congestion, donations are requested. The greater the donation, the longer you will be allowed to gaze upon the sepulchre. If one is fortunate enough to garner the attention of one of the deathless, one must be respectful and only speak when spoken to. It does not do for the living to linger long among the dead. She files away your form into an excessively large black cabinet. Intriguing. Well, first, visitors to the Most Serene Mausoleum are ushered into the nave, a vast soaring vault above the heart of the mausoleum. Here, guests to the mausoleum may visit the tomb of the prince consort, arrange for the burial of their own dead in the catacombs, or merely enjoy the solemn environs of the Empress's monument to her departed love. Whose death I find suspicious, but, first things first, writer report. The Most Serene Mausoleum is, if not the heart of Her Renewed Majesty's domain, then at least its pulmonary valve. And that makes me curious. Why? The Most Serene Mausoleum endures. The catacombs grow as the necropolis line brings more bodies for burial. Traders bring fresh hours into the mausoleum, endowments from the Empress for the deathless interred in their vaults. Plans are in motion to add a new chapel to the nave, while the deathless petition for a new, separate station for the exclusive use of their servants. Death has never been so much in motion. Curious thing. Inter a member of your crew. Contemplate the dead sun first. The corpse of Albion's old son is visible from a great rose-colored window, and it makes me curious. Oh, failure, unfortunately. An old broken thing. The burnished light of the clockwork sun gleams on the window. You raise a hand to your brow and squint. Through the gold-flecked glass, you can make out the shattered bulk of Albion's former son far below. When Her Majesty's armies entered Albion, they conquered the territory by slaying its son. A weapon of appalling power was built for the task, the proof of which is the smoking, ash-clogged remains below. The sun is quenched, and in its absence, London has built its own. Yes, I see. Visit the memorial to the Prince Consort. See if we get more hints about how he died. The most dearly beloved corpse in all of Albion. The Most Serene Mausoleum was built to commemorate Her Renewed Majesty's dead love. His tomb is the heart of the mausoleum. The vaults, chapels, mourners, and courtiers are all arteries and capillaries to his memory. To visit the tomb, one must speak to the cheery registrar. Oh, how much? Oh, I have plenty for that. Immaculate souls. I don't have any of those, unfortunately. Join the reverent crowds of the Prince Consort's tomb. A few sovereigns will buy you a few minutes, says the sepulchre. The cheery registrar marks your name in the account book before summoning a footman to guide you to the tomb. The tomb is sunk into a round chapel behind the choir. An effigy of the Prince Consort rests on top. His long hands are folded in prayer. 4 sculpted seraphim support him, as though about to lift him up in flight. Crowds of visitors in mourning jostle for a better position. A lady in an inconceivable hat shoves her way to the front. You are afforded a brief glimpse of the prince's haunted marble face before you are ushered away. A curious thing. Return to the nave. See if we can approach one of these deathless. Her Renewed Majesty's most highly favored courtiers prefer the upper climbs of the nave, away from excitable members of the public. Sensible. Oh. A curious thing. Many curious things, perhaps. But first, the Most Serene Mausoleum houses more than just the Prince Consort. Under its soaring spires, the Empress keeps her most favored courtiers. These lucky few are provided with every luxury they might wish, and a generous stipend of hours. The only condition of this bounty is that they are dead, a legality only. They cannot possess property, nor hold political office as a result. They are the deathless. Occasionally, they deign to appear to visitors. A childhood friend of Her Renewed Majesty, the Duchess Incarnadine, was instrumental in the conquest of Albion. Her place in the mausoleum was her reward. Tell me more, please. Oh, you break my heart. the brocade incarnadine. She glides along the flagstones, a great train of scarlet cloth, following her like the telltale trail of blood in a penny dreadful. Today she is menacing the footmen, loudly inquiring after their physiques and their athleticism. She requires only the fittest to survive her mock battles. She notices your gaze, but after looking you up and down, merely sighs. Insufficient, she says, before gliding away. You cannot help but notice the smears of drying blood on her brocade, nor the wash of crimson that trails in her wake like a red tide. It's perhaps not healthy to be here. Of course, it's not much healthier out there with that thing. Out of curiosity, how much would you Oh, no. No. I'm afraid money is important at the moment. Far too important for this. You say it's cheap. Well, in that case, sable-liveried footmen are cutting up vast rolls of midnight fabric for sale. These are the cast-offs from the macabre counselor's latest tableau, rejected for being insufficiently direful. And that price tag, it seems a bit excessive, but... oh, thank God that thing moved on. Okay. Well, we have a desperate need to get to London. And thank you for finally discovering the bloody place. You're still hostile to me? Great. You are nearly dead, friend, so let me finish that for you. You've killed something. Good. Let me take advantage. Yes. Break into the captain's cabin. Unusual. Illegal language. Curious. Shelves have been bolted to the walls. They are stuffed with sheaves of yellowing paper, collections of fairy tales, children's stories, rhymes, ballads, and poems. Not all are in the Queen's English. Some are in Welsh and Gaelic, languages disapproved of by the Ministry. Yes. But let's get a look at this horror. I'm curious. I want a name put to it. The Unclear Bomb, perhaps. I have suspicions, but not a name. And a name is required. At least for my satisfaction. Just a nameless horror. I suppose we know that that is the remains of a sun. A dead sun. A mostly dead sun, I would say, because I see some red in there, and, it concerns me somewhat. Oh? You are not where you thought you were. Sky is wrong, this is not where you were meant to be. Was it a trick of the mists? Has the wind carried you astray? Have the heavens themselves turned on their axis? Oh no. Oh, no. Press on, push forward into the stranger skies, and hope that somewhere beyond you'll find familiar territories again. Unlocked when you have airs of terror, and you have earned the wrath of the burrower below. I forgot that they hate me. A bank of mists stretches just below you. I'm sorry, I'm looking at this eye and not pleased by its gaze. Regardless. A bank of mist stretches just below you, flat and colorless as a twilight moor. Your navigator lets out a sudden cry, frantically pointing at something through your starboard windows. Something immense approaches, its vast bulk rising from the mists. The great hump of its back looms over you like a hillside. It is studded with lidless yellow eyes. This is one of the Aegianae, the star dragons, the behemoth mercenaries that the suns contract to enforce their laws. Before it, you are only a fleck. Oh no. Quench your lights, quell your steam. By the skin of your teeth, the Leviathan draws closer and vaster. It is a cliff bearing down on you. It eclipses all the sky. At the last moment, your engineers restart the engines and your driver drags your initially sluggish vessel out of the beast's way. It's barely enough, but the Aegianae's wake casts the sky into a tumult. You're flung like a leaf on the wind, your locomotives spinning over and over, their casualties. As you right your vessel, the uncaring behemoth sinks back into the mists. Expensive. And further evidence that we need to not be here. Clearly this was a mistake. Well, back to London then. Oh my. Well, that is curious. Recent damage to your engine cracked some of its windows. Now boisterous winds have shattered them entirely, exposing your crew to the maddening light of the stars. We have no choice but to leave them broken. Oh dear. We have no choice. Your crew will just have to endure the starlight and the drafts until you reach port. That old tyranny. Your starboard corridor is soaked in starlight. Your crew avoid it where possible, but inevitably some of them succumb to obsessions. They cannot work if every task must be done in alphabetical order, or every object around them ordered by size or shape or color or date of invention. Yeah, things are not going great on this locomotive. Let's go back to London at full speed. Back to London, where things are not quite as horrifying, perhaps. What have we gained out of this trip? Not as much as I would like. Well, I suppose we'll try a no. No. It is sorely tempting. It is sorely tempting. It's trapped there. I could kill it. But it's a bad choice, so we won't. We will resist the urge, and we will just play the good citizen. It's fine. I don't know if you increase terror or decrease it, but... Vision of the heavens. Fine. I would give almost anything to know exactly where the Parliament is. No. No. Nice try, but no. Your aim is off, friend. Very well. If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you'll get. Stay in there. Unfortunately, this did more damage to me than I would have liked. Investigate the bodies, see what we find. Gain more horror, I suspect. Terror, rather. This was not a very profitable trip, in fact, quite the opposite. I suspect I've weakened myself more than I've... well... more than I've gained anything. Still, the floating parliament has to be out there, and it is south of London, wherever that is. One more time. You did say south, yes? Yep, somewhere in the south, apparently. Although, we got a good chunk of the south explored, and there was no parliament there. Maybe it means the southeast. You surface from panopticon nightmares, your flesh crawling and itching, you're unraveling. The inside of your skull is seething with lice. Some utter fool has scrawled eyes all over your walls. How did they even get in? Your door was locked. The wall, the floors, the ceiling, all scrawled with thousands of eyes. A discarded nub of chalk has rolled beneath your desk. A bad choice. Attempt to decipher the pattern. The more you look, the more you see a deliberation in the placement of eyes. And that was a very bad decision. A very bad decision indeed. A hidden symbol. You find a new stick of chalk and begin drawing lines between the largest eyes, connecting them from floor to wall to ceiling. When you stand back, you find yourself faced with an enormous, jagged sigil whose meaning you cannot begin to fathom. Even when you close your eyes, it blazes in your mind. Unfortunate, that. Back to London. Full speed. Better speed would have been preferred, but this will do. We can make it back there in time. Potentially. And that infernal bell is gonna drive me insane. But we will find it as well, because I suspect that that bell comes from Parliament. At least given what little knowledge we have. Hum. Think. Perhaps coming to Albion was a mistake. Perhaps, but it's a mistake we made. And at the end, what else could we have done? Could have spent more time in the Reach. Could have perhaps preserved that previous captain. Oop, this is mine. Let me in. Could have perhaps done many other things. Oh, my aunt is here. Dear God. Oh no. Somehow she has found her way into the high wilderness. She's trying to get your attention with the frantic waving of her horrible hat. I know you've seen me. Listen, I'm quite exhausted of my possibilities here. I am a serviceable quartermaster, I have friends everywhere, and my scones are to die for. How's that for a curriculum vitae? Now let me aboard. Is she even your real aunt? Either way, you'll have to deal with her. I need a savage secret. Oh. I'm so sorry. We'll come back to that. Explore London real quick. Liberated from her prison below, the etc. Wander the streets. There is first today is the brass embassy hosting visiting dignitaries, or perhaps there's a fire in the factories. The sky is red over the throne. A curious thing. The silken salon, though. Could share gossip, gain some sovereigns. Not something I want to do, though. Do desperately need crew, and I don't have the money for it, so let's solve that issue right now. Go to the bazaar first, though. Yeah, you want 5 panes of glass. Thing is, I know where that is, so perhaps worth taking. Just in case. Just in case. Selling, though, I have to sell most of this, frankly. Well, that actually was a very profitable trip. Well, fairly profitable. Let's see. Buy up 4 of each. Made less money than I would have liked, but I could have made even less than that. Somehow, I'm sure. Although, we also have to account for the fact that we need to repair everything here, so where can I repair it? There we go. There we go. Okay, can't repair all of it, but can repair most of it. The thing is, I need a bit more. Not quite fully repaired, but close. In fact, let's be clever. Or perhaps stupid, depends on your perspective. But if I go here, and then sell those, it's not a good choice, perhaps, but it's the choice we're making. For better or worse. And that should be enough, yes? Fully repair. Okay, down to 50 left. And we no longer have that critical damage problem, so most problems solved. Oh dear, investigate these rumors of an underground railway. Unfortunately, I can't. I need savage secrets that I don't have access to. And I can't go deeper into... I have no choice but the ministry? Really? Really? No choice at all. It's quite discouraging, I have to say. Hire on some crew. I have very little choice. Really? Oh. Why did it say it failed when it gave me some? New recruits. After interviewing several disappointing candidates, you find a group fresh from a merchant trader. They've learned a few things about haggling. You won't get away with paying them anything less than their value. Which is fine. We can work with this. Oh dear, I'm gonna have to make another expedition. Another expedition south. Well, first to the ministries and then south. Perhaps we go east of the ministries and down and through, yes? See what we find that way. But regardless, for now, thank you for your time. Know the like, comment, and subscribe buttons below. Use them responsibly, and I will see you all soon. Bye-bye.